A lot of people are asking us about their home values right now, especially with the market the way it's been the last couple of years. And I will tell you that the Zillow, Redfin valuation tools of the world, they have their own algorithms, and they're fun. They're a fun starting point to see where your home value lands. They usually give a range. Many times they can be off in value. And I want to demonstrate today how we go about doing an actual CMA, a comparative market analysis, and the difference between our analysis and what you might find on Zillow. So let's dive in. Okay, so the goal today is to look at the difference between a Zestimate, a Redfin estimate, and what we would do as a realtor to really narrow in on the actual value of your home. So again, these are really great fun tools to start with. I'm picking a property that we just sold. And so Zillow actually has some really good data because we just sold it. We sold it for $975. They're giving it as estimate for $976. But they won't always have a lot of details on these properties. Redfin is giving it $978. And so those are fairly close. And then they do a range from 960 to 1.06 million. That doesn't tell you very much. So let's kind of just dive into what I would do if I were, advising a client on what their actual value is. So what we can do is go into a mapping tool. And I've already mapped in this area, this neighborhood, in a specific way because I'm very familiar with it. It's in Rancho Carrillo, Carlsbad area. And the property that we just sold is right here. I didn't include this corner because they are condos. They're very different. They don't have yards, so they don't compare, in my opinion. The properties that are over here are selling for much higher, and the reason is because they're detached. So you have to take that into account and figure out how would you adjust the value for these homes that are attached. They're actually kind of set up like duplexes, but they do have their own yards, and they're zoned as single family as far as the city is concerned. So lots of interesting intricacies that an algorithm like Zillow won't take into account. Then I can also massage the data by going into either 6 months back. 90 days back is what I chose because we know that the market has really drastically changed in the last 90 days. So I want current data as much as possible. And I'll look at the actives, pending and closed properties because I want to see what is the competition. Are we getting a lot more houses on the market in that area? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. And then we've got 2 pending. So the other thing that I'll do as an agent is go in and contact these listing agents to see if they'll give me any clues as to what those houses sold for. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But that gives me an idea. And they've got days on market here, 232 and 15. That's much more days to sell a property than it was a few months ago. So again, here's our one that we just sold at $975. We had it listed at $949. Sold in 0 days. That was pretty good. And then the other 2 comparisons are single families detached again. So that's why the values are very different. We would also look at square footage, lot size, and that kind of thing. So it gives us an average of price per square foot, but don't confuse price per square foot with an actual valuation because a lot of people use that hard number. It's just 1/3 of the equation. When an appraiser looks at that, they're going to look at price per square foot, but they're also going to look at the condition of the property and also the location where it is. So within the community and the desirability of the area. So let's go to another one in a completely different area. This is more of a luxury market in the Elfin Forest, Escondido area. And this is where we would really have to dive in and see what's the condition, how does the square footage compare, how does the lot compare, because in luxury, you've got a wider variance on what can sell, and you only need one buyer who really likes the property. The more unique the property, I guess what I'm saying is that the broader you would go out. So I might go out a little further on the map just to see what else is going to compare to this specific property that I'm trying to put value on. So we sold one in here a few years back, and it was very unique, beautiful luxury property. And what I did was I went back to look at similar properties in terms of lot size and condition, even within a mile, which would take me to Escondido and Encinitas, and then you have to just adjust by area on your value. So that gives you a brief idea. The other thing is I start in narrow and then I go wide on my data. So I'll look at my tools. It's called InfoSparks to see, this is the 92009 zip code and also the Elfin Forest, San Marcos area 92029, just to see where that activity and the trends are going. So you can see the overall market in San Diego County is kind of tapering off month to month, and these two zip codes are still very strong. So I definitely take that into account when we're doing values on these properties. And so that's it. And we have so much at our disposal. I tend to look at these things 42 different ways because I like working with these numbers, and it's really more of an art than it is a science. But the way I figure it is if I look at it so many different ways and keep coming back to the same number, then that's going to be a really good starting place for where to list your property. So if you would love a deep analysis like this for your property, I'm happy to do it. Like I said, I love to do this, and just feel free to reach out. Make sure to like and subscribe for more interesting seller tips. And thank you so much for listening.